Hi, I'm Cliff Barrett for Marvel Comics. Welcome to the Marvel Comics Fall Preview. Get set for the biggest event of the season, the X-Men Avengers crossover, which caps the spectacular 30th anniversary celebrations for both these superhero teams. The crossover kicks off in September at Avengers number 368, and running through X-Men number 26, Avengers West Coast number 101, Uncanny X-Men number 307, Avengers number 369, and X-Men number 27. Avengers number 369, like other Avengers anniversary titles, will hit the shelves with an all-foil cover to commemorate the 30th anniversary of Earth's mightiest heroes. The X-Men Avengers crossover slams into high gear from the start, with Fabian Cortez arranges for the kidnapping of Luna, Magneto's granddaughter, which of course puts the Master of Magnetism in a pretty vengeful mood. Magneto quickly orders the mutant Exodus to bring him his children, the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Readers will be surprised at the Witch's reaction when she sees Avalon, Magneto's mutant haven in space, for the first time. And you'll be gripping those pages with suspense when the West Coast Avengers, the Avengers, and the X-Men forge together to take down both Magneto and Fabian Cortez. X-Men readers and fans of Fox's Saturday morning X-Men cartoon are in for a treat when Gambit gets his very own limited series this October. Writer Howard Mackie of Spirits of Vengeance fame teams with penciler Lee Weeks to create this 4-issue series pitting Gambit against the Tithe Collector, a new villain who maintains his powers by killing innocent people. And that's not all. Readers get the scoop on Gambit's late wife, Belladonna, who may not really be dead after all. If not, she's really going to complicate the romance between Gambit and Rogue. It's getting hotter by the minute. Excalibur's interdimensional bounty hunters, TechNet, also get their own 4-issue limited series scheduled to debut in September. Written by Joey Cavalieri with art by Wolverine's Dwayne Turner, the TechNet limited series promises to maintain a wacky humor associated with the group while developing harder-edged stories. The series finds TechNet attempting to liberate Cat's-Eye, a weapon-free planet which has recently been overtaken by insurgents. To do it, they'll have to recover the last weapon exiled from Cat's-Eye, a high-tech suit of armor. But to power the armor, the wearer must sacrifice his life essences. And as you can imagine, nobody's exactly jumping to accept that task. Avengers West Coast number 100 celebrates a milestone this October, guest starring Mephisto. A 64-page extravaganza, Avengers West Coast number 100 pits the Avengers West Coast against Marvel's most menacing villain. The team discovers that Mephisto has resurrected the souls of the most evil people in history, and they're up to the same unconscionable activities that put them in the chair the first time around. Written by Roy Thomas with penciler Dave Ross, you'll enjoy Avengers West Coast number 100 for some time to come, especially since the events in the book lead directly into the season's biggest event, the X-Men Avengers crossover. The West Coast Avengers' Julia Carpenter gets writer Roy Thomas's undivided attention in Spider-Woman, a 4-issue limited series scheduled for September. The Punisher's John Japp is doing the artwork, and he's the perfect choice because in this book, Julia's more unrestrained than ever. Established at last as a major player in the Avengers West Coast, Spider-Woman's origin is the focal point of the series. There's not too much time for introspection, though, because Julia finds herself up against Deathweb, a group of nasty spider-like villains. Spider-Woman will position Julia as an integral character in the Marvel Universe. The series makes a perfect companion to the Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye limited series due in November, as well as the very popular U.S. Agent limited series. The New Warriors is one of Marvel's most recent successes, and now, for those who need a twice-monthly Nova fix, Nova is getting his own ongoing series beginning in October. Fan-fave Fabian Nicieza is writing the series, and Chris Marinan contributes the artwork. The book opens with Nova's life on Earth falling apart, but he has little time for self-pity because the Xandar Corps needs his help in battling a villain of cosmic magnitude. New Warriors fans will jump for joy over this book, and so will readers who appreciate a good story accompanied by spectacular art. Hot on the heels of the success of the first 2 Venom limited series comes a third, Venom: Knights of Vengeance, hits comic stores in October. Spirits of Vengeance writer Howard Mackie is scripting Knights of Vengeance with art by none other than the prolific Ron Lim. This book guest stars the incredibly popular Ghost Rider, who joins forces with Venom to face an unholy menace. Midnight Suns readers, not to mention Venom's own sizable fan following, will flock to Venom, Knights of Vengeance. October and November are big months for the Midnight Suns, kicking off the Siege of Darkness crossover that will include some of the biggest stars in the Marvel Universe. Covering 12 issues of the Midnight Suns, Siege of Darkness begins in Night Stalkers number 14. The crossover continues in Ghost Rider number 44 and 45, Darkhold number 15 and 16, Night Stalkers number 15, Spirits of Vengeance number 17 and 18, Doctor Strange number 60 and 61. Zarathos, the character readers have been clamoring for information about, returns for Siege of Darkness. At last, the truth between Zarathos and Ghost Rider will be revealed. Siege of Darkness will change the status quo of the Midnight Suns forever, in addition to bringing the Doctor Strange series under the editorial guidance of Bobby Chase. Chase is responsible not only for the entire Midnight Suns line, but also for the very popular Incredible Hulk. Aficionados of beautiful artwork will want to take a look at Hellhound when it premieres in October. This 4-issue limited series is fully painted by Floyd Hughes, who's a newcomer to the comics industry, but not to the publishing world. Floyd did the highly acclaimed artwork for a Jimi Hendrix biography. Hellhound is written by novelist John Miller, who readers may remember for his exciting work in Wild Cars. Hellhound is a story of a musician who made a deal with the devil for fame and fortune. Now that he's dead, he has to make good on his bargain and return to Earth to claim souls for the devil. This book is a page-turner, all right, but it's a lot of fun, too. Some of the souls on the devil's list are people you've seen on television and in the papers. Chiller is a 2-issue limited series scheduled for October. This series rewrites American history, claiming that George Washington used black magic to win the Revolutionary War. 64 pages and written by James D. Hudnall of Strikeforce Morituri fame, Chiller is penciled by Hellblazer's James Ridgway, which means you can expect it to include some pretty dazzling and chilling artwork. Fetus Arcadiacus, a one-shot book scheduled to ship in October, is an extraordinary psychological horror story written by Nathaniel Lackenmeyer with art by Mark Erickson. The book concerns Helena Merce, a young pregnant woman who discovers that the tumor she is thought to have is actually her own twin sister. Apparently, Helena absorbed the other fetus when they shared their mother's womb. Now the twin wants revenge. She taunts Helena, telling her she'll possess her unborn child and ruin her life. What happens to Helena is a living nightmare. Fetus Arcadiacus came to Marvel in an unusual manner. It was originally a novel submitted to us by Lackenmeyer. It knocked our socks off, and the rest is history. Fans of The Far Out and Twisted will shriek with laughter when they get their hands on Mort the Dead Teenager, which is scheduled to debut in September. Written by Wolverine writer Larry Hama, this 4-issue limited series features artwork by Jerry Holgren. Both Hama and Holgren worked on the offbeat Crazy magazine, proving that in Hama's case, even a guy renowned for writing hard-hitting action has a sense of humor. The series gets off to a grim start when an unruly teenager named Mort borrows his dad's wheels and dies in a car accident. After doing time in teen afterlife, Mort ends up haunting his loved ones and makes some interesting discoveries, namely that his parents are mad at him for wrecking their car. Clive Barker fans won't want to miss the debut of The Harrowers, an ongoing series scheduled for October. This gripping book concerns heroes who've been selected by an ancient goddess to fight a war against an evil primordial force. The 6 heroes are compelled to be together, using their powers to aid her in rescuing damned souls from hell. Once a soul is recovered, the goddess burns it in the fire of her eternal womb, where it's given a new life. Being rescued from hell is a gamble, though, because a new life could mean returning to Earth as one of many things, from a normal human being to a tortilla chip. Readers can expect plenty of action in The Harrowers, as well as intriguing characters. The series is written by Malcolm Smith, with pencils by Gene Colan of Tomb of Dracula fame, with a strong assist by Zinc Inc. Still can't get enough Clive Barker action? Then keep an eye out for Pinhead, a new ongoing series set for October. Written by Daredevil's D.G. Chichester, Pinhead is the Cenobites' own book, telling their story and their exploits in hell. Wait till you see the artwork. Pinhead is penciled by Sandman's Kelly Jones. Barker readers and martial law fans will welcome Hellraiser Martial Law when it arrives in stores in September. This 2-issue limited series is the first ever Clive Barker crossover and finds Pinhead facing off with the enormously popular Martial Law. Hellraiser Martial Law is penciled by Kevin O'Neill, who's well known for his hard-hitting style. Punisher 2099 scribe Pat Mills writes the series. We expect Hellraiser Martial Law to be one of our biggest successes this fall, thanks to Martial Law's tremendous popularity. Across the Atlantic, a major crossover's in the works. That's right, Marvel UK is at it again. Red Mist 2020, a 6-part crossover, runs through Marvel's UK new titles for fall 1993. Red Mist 2020 introduces several new UK titles, kicking off in Roid Rage number 1. It continues in Roid Rage number 2, Death Duty number 1 and 2, and Blood Rush number 1 and 2. Set in the contemporary Marvel Universe, Roid Rage premieres in October and tells the story of a super soldier who survived a mutated batch of the Red Mist. The soldier is called back to duty by Strasser, the mastermind behind the program. Also premiering in October is Death Duty, the name of a secret operative team who works for S.H.I.E.L.D. When Strasser builds a new and incredibly powerful body for himself, plotting to overtake Death Duty, will Death Duty agent Jake Keller be able to stop him? Jake Keller is back in Blood Rush, the third of the UK's new series. Having illegally altered his body to make it bigger, stronger, and more lethal, Jake and Death Duty head out to take Strasser down in the ultimate showdown. Roid Rage, Death Duty, and Blood Rush premiere issues will hit stores polybag to include a beautiful poster. Readers already associate Marvel UK with innovative and exciting books like Wild Thing, Death's Head 2, and Battle Tide. The books included in the Red Mist 2020 crossover will fortify that reputation. You don't have to be a science fiction fanatic to fall in love with the new Kamikazes, but if you are, you'll certainly want this 3-issue limited series set to premiere in September. Kamikazes will appeal to superhero fans as well. It's a futuristic saga that concerns a group of technopunks who learn of a conspiracy to destroy whales who inhabit outer space. Somebody's selling the whale blubber on the black market, and the Kamikazes are out to stop them. Kamikazes is written by Punisher 2099 scribe Pat Mills, with art by newcomer John Elson. You'll definitely want to take a look at Elson's artwork. It has a Japanese influence that's guaranteed to be a hit. Take a look at Marvel's new superstars, Biker Mice from Mars, which are the subjects of a television program from Marvel Productions set to premiere in September on a TV near you. The Biker Mice are also the subject of a new and bizarre ongoing series edited by Mort Todd, formerly of the wickedly funny Cracked magazine. You may also remember Todd from his days as publisher of Monsters Attack. Biker Mice from Mars concerns Vinny, Throttle, and Moto, 3 rockin' bikers who flee their native planet after it's left a wasteland by ecological terrorists. The bikers wage an all-out battle against the terrorists, including Dr. Carbuncle, Greasepit, Limburger, and the dreaded Exterminator. The first issues reveal the amazing origin of the mice, adapted from the original teleplay by writer and penciler Rorik Tyler of Darkhold fame. This book is cyberpunk adventure at its finest. We have big expectations for Biker Mice from Mars. It's already the talk of the Marvel bullpen. One big project you'll want to keep an eye out for in October is Transformers Generation 2, the new Transformers ongoing series. The Transformers are big news again thanks to Hasbro's revamped and relaunched toy line, which is selling like hotcakes. Transformers Generation 2 is written by Simon Furman with art by Derek Yaniger of Web of Spider-Man fame. We don't usually attract interest in a book on the basis of the lettering, but Transformers letterer Richard Starking is employing a state-of-the-art technique which definitely contributes to the feel of the book. To attract attention, the Transformers will guest star in G.I. Joe prior to their own series premiere. Keep an eye out for Transformers Generation 2. It's going to be a big seller. Epic's Heavy Hitters line has been a phenomenal success, so we're adding some great new titles. Leading off is Peter David and George Perez's Sax and Violence, a 6-issue limited series set to premiere in September. Peter David promises that the book is chock full of so many climaxes that you'll want to smoke a cigarette after every issue. The book concerns Jennifer Jean, or J.J. Sax, a model, and the photographer she likes to work with most, Ernie Schultz, who's also known as Violence, a name he picked up in Vietnam. Sax is a thrill addict, getting into and getting off on hair-raising situations. Ernie's in love with her, but his only hope of keeping her affection is to follow her into a series of risky circumstances. Hence the name of the series, Sax and Violence. With a creative team responsible for Hulk, Future Imperfect behind it, this one's gonna be big. Dragon Lines was so nice, we had to do it twice. That's right, twice. On the heels of Peter Quinones and Ron Lem's highly successful Dragon Lines comes Dragon Lines 2. This 4-issue limited series is chock full of the action and adventure readers loved in the original series. September marks the very first epic Heavy Hitters crossover. Law Dog vs. Grimrod will arrive in stores with a color enhanced with metallic ink. This 48-page one-shot finds Down and Dirty Law Dog crossing over into the Alien Legion universe, where he'll meet his match in Jugger Grimrod. The Punisher's Chuck Dixon is writing Law Dog vs. Grimrod. Wang Nguyen, who made big waves with his stuff for Alien Legion one planet at a time, is doing the artwork. Readers who can't get enough of Punisher writer Chuck Dixon's hard-hitting style are going to love Alien Legion, Binary Deep. Scheduled for September, this 48-page one-shot picks up where the highly successful One Planet at a Time left off. Tori's dad is framed for a crime he didn't commit, so Tori mobilizes the Nomad Squadron to clear his name and take care of the lowlifes who falsely accused him. Argentinian penciler Alcatania provides the artwork for Binary Deep. Word is, it's hot stuff. The prolific Chuck Dixon is back in War Man, a 2-issue bookshelf series scheduled to start in September. Dixon teams up with a hero of his own for War Man, penciler Juan Zanato, who is revered in Europe for his unique style. Punisher 2099 writer Pat Mills teams up with penciler John Erasmus to create Terrorists, a 4-issue limited series scheduled for September. According to Terrorists, in 10 years, all the terrible predictions about the environment will have come true. Governments and corporations hire environmentalists supposedly with the intention of helping the Earth. The real plan, however, is to get the ecology-minded out of the way so that big business can further sap the planet of its resources for profit. When a group of the environmentalists, known as terrorists, get wind of the scheme, they take matters into their own hands. To commemorate the 30th anniversary of the 1960s legendary Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense, and Strange Tales books, we're publishing Milestone Editions 1990s style. The first of these is Tales to Astonish, The Incredible Hulk, a graphic novel set to arrive in stores in October. Written by the incredible Peter David, with explosive art by John Estes, this book is set in the present day with gorgeous, fully painted artwork. This 48-page spectacular marks the return of Thor's nemesis, Loki, to Earth. After being released from the realm of death, Loki possesses a mystic and wreaks havoc on Hank Pym, the Wasp, and the Hulk. What results is a classic battle featuring some of Marvel's oldest and best-loved heroes. Fan fave Peter David will attract many readers to the impressively produced Tales to Astonish, and longtime readers who grew up with the original will get a nostalgia fix that'll bring them back for the forthcoming 1990s versions of Tales of Suspense and Strange Tales. These are just some of the great products coming your way this fall from Marvel Comics. Check our monthly Sales to Astonish catalog for updated information on all these great titles. This is Cliff Barrett for Marvel Comics.